you so much. This is the mic, is it?
No,
yes, I'm the third ISA detainee come outlaw to be speaking to you here today. The only thing is the first two are still facing charges, and I got no more charges. My charges have been dropped. So contrary to what they say, I'm not a fugitive in the UK. I'm an exile. Because a fugitive has charges hanging over his head. I have no charges hanging over my head, you know, but I am in exile. And, well, we hope Datuk Seri Anwar will be able to fight the charges against him on grounds that there's actually absolutely no evidence. And Ten Chua also, I believe, his biting policeman case is, I think, not resolved. But at least that proves one thing: Ten Chua's bite is worse than his bark. Now, a few days ago, I got a call from Malaysia. You know, nowadays with Skype, we can do video conferencing, and you know, we conference sometimes with friends in Australia, friends in America, friends in Malaysia, Singapore, all at the same time, you know, doing this conferencing, worldwide conferencing. So we had this little conference going on, and members of the civil society movements in Malaysia wanted to know one thing. There's a new by-election coming up soon, the 12th by-election since 2008. What's our stand? What are the civil society movements, movement activists going to do with regards to this coming by-election? Are we going to support it? Are we going to campaign in the by-election as what we have done so in the 11 by-elections before this? Or are we going to abstain and not participate, not support Pakatan? So I asked him, what do you guys want to do? He says, well, we leave it to you. If you say we support, we support. If you say we boycott, we boycott. But whatever it is, if you want us to support, give us a reason why we should support. So, I mean, we had a 1-hour conference, and to cut a long story short, the brunt of the dissatisfaction or unhappiness of the civil society movements in Malaysia is basically this. Prior to the March 2008 general election, we, the civil society movements, sat down for months to put a lot of effort into polishing a document which we call the People's Declaration, which some of you probably have received a copy here. This People's Declaration, or Deklarasi Rakyat, was actually an improved version of an earlier document, which was called Agenda Perubahan, or Agenda for Change. And the Agenda for Change, the author to the Agenda for Change is no other than Datuk Seri Anwar himself, who sat in Sungai Buloh prison in 1998, not knowing whether he's going to ever see daylight, or even if he does, probably 10 or 20 years later, before he's going to be a free man. And he sat there, just like Jose Rizal, penning his last goodbye to the Filipino people. And he sat there, Datuk Seri Anwar, and he penned in his handwriting Agenda Perubahan, or a document called Agenda for Change. Since then, a lot of changes have happened in the country, so even the Agenda for Change had to be changed. And we came up with an improved version, version 2.01 if you wish, and we called it Deklarasi Rakyat, the People's Declaration. And we presented this to the political parties in February 2008. And it was agreed not only by the 3 Pakatan Rakyat members, but also by MDP, PSM, and PASOK, the 3 other non-Pakatan Rakyat political parties. And they accepted this as the platform, as the foundation for change. And more or less, this was to be the election manifesto of all those political parties contesting in the general election 2 years ago. Because of that, we went to the ground. The civil society movements and bloggers, we went to the ground. And we campaigned. We crisscrossed the length and breadth of Malaysia until I was banned from going to Penang. The police issued a ban and did not allow me to even ceramah in Penang for whatever grounds, I don't know. And but I still went and ceramah anyway. I ceramah along just one street in Penang. Actually, it's a gangster area, Chinese area, and also protected by the local Sapat Lohon, you know. And the street was called Jalan Raja Tun Muda, who happens to be my grandfather. And of course, the police came and said, you know, we have issued a ban, you're not supposed to ceramah. You think what is your grandfather's road? Or what? So I told her, yeah, my grandfather, Raja Tun Muda, you know. That's why I ceramah on that street. Anyhow, we swept 5 states and we denied Barisan Nasional 2/3 majority. And we actually, if you look at the votes here, we got 50% of the votes. Even though we did not get 50% of the seats. And all Pakatan Rakyat needed was an additional 300,000 votes. That's all. An additional 300,000 votes, and today, Pakatan Rakyat is the federal government of Malaysia. But we had 4 million Malaysians not registered as voters. 1 million of them live outside Malaysia. Now, if we could have got 10% of those 4 million, not all even, 10% of those 4 million to register as voters. And if we could have got the laws changed, where you people, Malaysians living outside Malaysia, are able to go to the Malaysian High Com or the Malaysian Embassy and vote, Barisan Nasional's dead. And I can then go back to Malaysia and operate from Putrajaya maybe. So we, the civil society movement, see that we have a role to play. And we do have a role to play as a third force. I do not mean a third political party. A third force does not have to be a political party. We are already a third force. Bersih was a third force back in November 2007. Hindraf was a third force back in November 2007. And all these third forces came together. We combined our efforts. We united the anti-ISA movement, the Bersih group, the Hindraf group, the bloggers group. We all got together and we gave Barisan Nasional a run for their money, and they almost got kicked out of power. Now, if we do not kick them out this next election, the coming general election, if we are not able to kick out Barisan Nasional, then I doubt we're ever going to see it in my generation. We will need another 30 years before it's going to happen. I don't think I'll be around 30 years from now. If I am, I'll be 90. I'll probably be more nyanyok than some people.